I suppose what I have a slide deck here which I will refer to in a sort of an ad hoc fashion, but really what I wanted to do was to tell you a little bit about our company. I suppose what qualifies me to talk to a very august group such as this. The sorts of things that are driving our requirements, particularly in terms of skills, because I quite often distill down our business into two components, that's time and talent. And we effectively in our business invoice out time back to our parent company. And we're always looking for good talent, and that's why I'm always very anxious to talk to people in FE and HE and education in general as to how they can help us out as far as that's concerned. I suppose some of the other things I'd like to talk to you about is how we as an organisation have evolved over the years. How I think we've done things slightly differently. I think we're kind of a funky organisation. We've always looked outside the square in terms of trying to get things done, in terms of how innovative we are in doing things. And then move into our direct links with FE, particularly in Northern Ireland, and some of the ideas that we've brought to the table as far as that's concerned. So first of all, the commercials. We consider that this is what we do. I suppose that's the essence of our business. Time and talent is one way of putting it, combining knowledge and experience, because as far as we're concerned, technical knowledge is only one facet of what you have. If you combine that with a lot of business experience, you become a very potent employee as far as we're concerned. This is a little bit about our company, just to tell you a bit. I suppose this is what qualifies me to be here. The company was set up, announced in 1998. We had an original business plan to grow to 250 people. And the original business plan was if we did that and did it over a period of 5 years, we were going to, I think, make around about $6 or $7 million, and we were going to save the corporation around about $40 million. But if you go down through this here, you'll see down at this slide here, we think currently we've saved close to $1 billion for the organisation. We're currently just around about 2,000 employees, and that's in the space of about 11 or 12 years. And we say this, I suppose, is one of our strap lines, that we combine state-of-the-art technology and facilities with personalities, can-do attitude, methodology and smile. And the smile is an important aspect of it as well. The dramatic music was just for effect there, was it? Anyway, oh, that's not good. Somebody has to push a cancel button or something here. Oh, that's me, is it? I'll try that and see if it works. Funny, I got the same error up in my PC this morning. Or I don't know if the memory address was the same, but anyhow. So what were we set up to do? Effectively, our parent company is the largest publicly held property and casualty insurer in the USA. Now, what does that mean? It means that they insure private homes and cars in the US. 1 in every 7 homes in the US and 1 in every 7 cars in the US is insured by Allstate. We're not actually the largest insurance company. That's a mutual company called State Farm, but we are the second largest, but we're the largest publicly held, so we brag about being the largest publicly held. They employ around about 35,000 employees, and that's a kind of a movable feast, because in addition to that we have about 12,000 agents who work for us around the US. So those of you who've been to the US will know you pass strip malls every 2 miles, and it's kind of like moving wallpaper, and just about in every one of those strip malls you'll see either an Allstate shop or a State Farm shop selling insurance. And we do it through various different channels. We use the agency channel, we also use the direct channel, that's allstate.com, and we also use call centres, which is 1-800-ALLSTATE. Effectively you dial that number, and it operates on the principle that we give you a quote and hopefully you get your car insured with us. And why did they come to Northern Ireland? This was 1998. Year 2000 was big on everybody's horizon then. Everybody thought the planes were going to fall out of the skies and the world was going to come to an end whenever the clock struck 12 on the 31st of December. So there was an awful lot of code remediation was going on in those days. And I often say if you could spell COBOL in those days, you got a job as a COBOL programmer, because there was an awful lot of COBOL code that needed to be remediated. I'm happy to say that in 1998 Allstate had done all of that, but there was still a dearth of good people, good talent in the world, and they came here primarily on a whim because Invest NI, or as they were called then, IDB, persuaded them to do it on the basis that we've got a lot of good skills here. And I suppose it was my job whenever I was hired into the organisation to see could we mine those skills, so to speak, and develop an organisation. And as I told you, the business plan was 250 people. We started business in January of 1999. By the end of 1999, we were over 100 people. By the end of year 2000, we were at 250 people. So we'd pretty much done the business plan in 2 years. And then my boss started talking about 1,000 people, and I took a deep breath and said, I wonder, can we do 1,000 people? And it was all predicated on whether we could get skills. One of the skills that was very deficient was mainframe technology, and this is something that I harp on about a lot in Northern Ireland. There were no mainframe skills in Northern Ireland. None of the universities did mainframe. None of the colleges did mainframe. In fact, everybody thought mainframe's a dying technology. Why would we want to get into dinosaur technologies like mainframe? Today, we need more mainframe skills than we did 10 years ago. Any of the inward investors that are looking at Northern Ireland now, and I could probably go through a list of Fortune 50 companies in the USA, they're all looking for mainframe skills. So to coin a phrase that's used by politicians here, it hasn't gone away, you know. Mainframe skills are very much in demand here. And that was one of the things, and I'll come on to talk about how we've collaborated with the FE colleges here, but mainframe technology was one of the areas that we did collaborate very much with the FE colleges here to see could we get a school of mainframe training going on here. So we shook all the trees and scoured all the lanes and byways to see could we get mainframe programmers, used them to train other people and to get that mainframe school going, if you like, within our business. I'm happy to say that we also do a lot of other technologies now, and I can probably talk to you about a whole spectrum of technologies that we use now. But that was one of our challenges in those days, was how do we get the people? And at that time, I suppose, maybe I should move a slide on now. Have you all read that slide and digested the information there? Have I talked about, I suppose the only other thing that's worth mentioning in this slide was why did they come to Northern Ireland in the first place?